So you're confused on breast pumping. There's so much information and so many different options to choose from. Don't worry, I've been there and I'm here to help you out. The first topic I want to talk about is flange sizing, since many women aren't aware of it. It's pretty important for optimal milk output. And there are a lot of great flange sizing kits on the market. There are just a few. Luckily, my Mom Cozy breast pumps came with one. Otherwise, I would have had no idea. You essentially take your flange sizing kit and place each hole over your nipple until you find the size that fits your nipple perfectly. Another reason flange sizing is important is because it can be really uncomfortable if you have the wrong size. It could also potentially damage your nipple if it's incorrect. Next, I wanted to talk about all the different kinds of pumps that you can use. There's manual breast pumps, wired breast pumps, and hands-free electric breast pumps. Manual breast pumps look like this and work by squeezing the plunger by hand. Wired pumps are going to look something like this. You plug it in and stay put in one place during your entire pumping session. Hands-free wearable electric breast pumps could take two forms. Totally wireless, where each milk collector has its own pump motor, or wired, where both milk collectors are wired to one pump motor. I personally own 3 different kinds of hands-free wearable electric breast pumps because I'm constantly up and doing something, prefer not to stay put in one place for 20 minutes while I pump, and I like the totally wireless feature. However, it's all personal preference. Something most pumps have in common is the multiple pumping mode combinations. There's just nipple stimulation, and pumping, and then just pumping. And there's the suction power levels, which varies based on the pump you get. Some pumps have a lot higher suction levels to choose from than others. So deciding on a pump essentially all varies depending on personal preference, variety of modes and levels, and affordability. Now I want to talk about pumping routines. This is honestly going to look different for every mom because some moms exclusively pump and bottle feed their babies their breast milk. Some do breast milk bottle feeding combined with direct breastfeeding. Some just pump to increase their milk supply by stimulating and emptying their breasts more often. And some mothers overproduce, so they need to pump out their excess breast milk. These are only a few out of all of the reasons that a mother might pump, but they are the most common. I personally breastfeed my baby on demand, but my husband does try to bottle feed her my breast milk every once in a while to bond with her. I also overproduce, and for those reasons, my pumping routine is a bit sporadic, but a typical day would consist of me directly breastfeeding my baby on demand all day, my husband bottle feeding her my breast milk once before bed, and waking up twice in the middle of the night to feed my baby while I pump on the opposite side. Each of those pumping sessions for me last about 15 minutes. However, like I said, my personal pumping routine is a bit sporadic, so depending on my engorgement, I might pump throughout the day. The truth of the matter is, you'll find your own pumping routine based on how you plan to feed your baby and your general day-to-day routine, so don't stress it. Now, washing and sterilizing your parts after each use is an important thing to do, especially with a newborn. You wouldn't want any harmful bacteria on your pump parts or in the breast milk that you feed your baby. Here's an example routine. After each use, use a separate bin from your dishes to wash them in. Fill up your bin with warm water and use gentle dish soap to scrub your parts. I like to use a silicone brush because it can also be sterilized properly. Next, you can go the traditional route and boil your parts to sterilize them, or you can get a sterilizer to do the dirty work for you. Finally, take the parts out to dry on a mat or drying rack, and now they're ready to be assembled for the next use. Finally, I want to quickly talk about labeling and storing your breast milk. After expressing, you'll want to take your breast milk storage bag and label it with the date and time you expressed the milk. Word of mouth is that your body produces higher levels of melatonin in your milk at night and higher cortisol levels in the morning to help regulate a circadian rhythm. So if you bottle feed your baby your breast milk, you'll want to know that so that you don't accidentally give your baby energy-packed milk right before bed. Here are the guidelines for storing breast milk from the CDC. It'd be a great idea to print it out and tape it to your fridge so you don't forget. It took me a while, and doing that was really helpful for me. Now, before I let you guys go, I want to share my absolute favorite app ever that not only helps me track my pumping sessions, but also any breastfeeding or bottle feeding sessions, diaper changes, naps and sleep times, activities, and so much more. I'm not lying when I tell you guys that I've used the Huckleberry app every single day since we got home from the hospital. It helps me keep everything in order and even will remind me to pump or breastfeed if I tell it to. It's so great for tracking your pumping sessions and anything else with your baby. I would definitely give it a try because all the features I showed you are free. And that's all for now, so good luck on your breast pumping journey.